Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Welcome inside Mountaineer Stadium. We're in the back mountain of Luzerne County. Tonight, it's the District 2 4A championship between two state-ranked teams as number 5, Valley View, takes on number 3, Dallas. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Ide. Joining me in the booth tonight, the dynamic duo is back in town, and we're going to have former Tunkhannock area coach Jan Sechak and Hall of Fame coach Stan Kaharski. And Stan, Dallas has set themselves as the team to beat this year, but Valley View, they're still the two-time district champs.
Well, they've played the last 2 years, and last year Valley View had the upper hand in this decision for the championship. It's the Mountaineers' chance to pay them back. It should be a better game than the first game, Bob. That's the thing that I'm sure all Valley View fans are looking forward to. Valley View's got to tackle better. They've got to try to control the run game to some degree and be a little bit more effective offensively.
For the Cougars to win, they have to have a big night from our Toyota Spotlight player of the game, Janasa Boone, who has run for over 1,000 yards and has 18 touchdowns on the ground. He's
been remarkable. He's so dynamic, Bob. I think he's going to set the trend for what quarterbacks are going to look like in both of these conferences as we move through to the future. And he's been responsible for 32 touchdowns either through the air or through using his legs. And he's thrown for about 60% of his passes. And he's been responsible for about 2,200 yards. So he is the heart of that offense. But he's got a lot of supporting casts as receivers and a couple of his running backs.
Let's go over to Jan now, talk about the Mountaineers a little bit. When you talk about Dallas, you talk about running the ball. And when you talk about running the ball here this year, you talk about Lenny Kelly, nearly 2,000 yards, and he has 30 touchdowns.
Lenny Kelly is the ultimate player that Richie Manello wants to cultivate and have lead his team. On the legs of that young man, Dallas Mountaineers have been rolling. And now don't forget about Michael Starbuck, the southpaw quarterback. I think that Valley View is going to put pressure and try to make him pass the ball tonight.
Okay, a beautiful night for high school football. A little bit chilly, though, in the back mountain. Let's check in on the weather now with Allie Debicki from the Fox 56 News first at 10.
Hey there, Bob. Yes, through our Friday night rivals game, we're looking dry, but we will see the clouds increasing. Still a touchdown forecast, though, for Valley View at Dallas. Kickoff 7:05, and what we're expecting for temperatures, mid-30s across the area. So still pretty chilly by the end of the game. We're sitting in the lower 30s across the area, but keep in mind you won't have to battle any extra rain or winds as we head throughout the weekend. Going to be looking at a cooler forecast. I'll talk more about that tonight. We'll send it back to you at the field.
Thank you, Allie. When we return, we'll check in with the third member of our crew, Paul Grippy, and we'll have tonight's opening kick. It's the District 2 4A championship. It's Valley View and Dallas next.
You're watching Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
Defending champs, followed by the team that wants that trophy. It's the District 2 4A championship on the line. A third member of our crew, as always, is Paul Grippy. And Paul, it could be an historic night for the Mountaineers of Dallas.
And Bob, that's saying something because the Dallas football history is pretty impressive to begin with. It includes a state championship and several outstanding players. But would you realize Dallas has only won 3 district championships in their history, and all of those came in the 90s, 93, 94, and the last one 20 years ago in 1999. So they're trying to get another district championship, the first one of this century. It would also be the first one for head coach Rich Manello, now in his 5th season. You know, he started this season with a record of 26-29, but now a 12-0 record this season has him at 38-29. He has moved into the winning positive side as a coach. So Dallas tries to get their 4th district championship in program history, 20 years since the last one. A year ago, they lost the district championship to Valley View. They also want to reverse that result for tonight. Bob, yes, this could be a historic night in the back mountain for the Dallas Mountaineers.
Thank you, Paul. And also could be historic for Valley View. It could be their 4th this decade. So think about that. Dallas won the toss. They elected to receive. So Valley View will kick the ball off to the Mountaineers. The Cougars in the white with the blue trim and the blue helmets tonight. Dallas in their traditional home colors. Carolina blue, Carolina helmets with the D on the side. So it's the Keystone College kickoff, and it will be Jacob Kasserin to do the honors. Back to receive. It's Wren and Moransky. So we are set. A championship will be crowned after tonight's game, and we will be the District 2 4A. So it's a short kick. Schuster fair catches it at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Mountaineers will begin. So Michael Starbuck, he's a senior. He's thrown for 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And Jan, he has a lot of experience, but he did not play in last year's game.
No, he did because of injury. And this young man, I'm just impressed at how well he does throw the ball. He goes through his check down, his progression reads, and he is very patient when it comes to throwing.
Dallas averaging 42 points per game. They beat Crestwood last week to get to this title game. First play, right to Lenny Kelly. About a yard there. Valley View, as expected, is there to make the stop. Ball is on the turf, but the referees say he is down. So Stan, what do you see from the early on in the first play from the Cougar defense?
This Cougar defense stacked the line of scrimmage on that play, and it certainly had its best luck for them. And that's what they're going to have to do during the course of this game, Bob. They have to stop the run first and foremost, and that's not an easy task. Bob, the wind is going to be a factor. The American flag is really flying.
So play action for Starbuck down the middle, and incomplete, went over the head of the intended receiver, Delgadio, and now we'll take a look at the Quad A Driving Academy starting lineups. It's Kelly and Muser in the backfield along with Starbuck. The receivers are very good. Luke Delgadio just committed to Bucknell this week. Moransky also has 10 catches on the year. Watch out for that tight end. Up front, very senior-laden, a lot of experience, and they've been in the weight room since Richie Manella took over 4 years ago, Jan.
That's his mantra. If you're not going to spend the time in the weight room, you're not going to see the field. And they're very large up front, too. I think they're averaging about 260 across the board.
So a big third and long. Starbuck has time over the middle and had his receiver Moransky wide open, but he overthrew the pass, and it will be a fourth down punt coming up.
Again, wide open, but it's going to be tough catching the ball tonight. The wind is going to play havoc with it, and of course the cold, you don't know how it's going to happen. He steps into the pocket. It's a little high. Moransky's not able to pull it in.
But the Valley View defense left them open, though.
Great start. Now this punt could change field positions simply with the aid of the wind.
It is Burgess to punt. Wind is behind him. It's a high, wobbly one, and it goes way out of bounds. So let's see where the referees will mark it off.
Valley View should have fairly good field position.
And that will be good for their quarterback, Janasa Saboon. We talked about him in pregame about his running ability. But Stan, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions this season.
Well, his role is going to be a little bit undefined tonight. Last week, he was all over the place, not only taking snaps, but as a running back and split out as a wideout. He's very versatile.
This offense averages around 43 points a game. They won last week, as Coach mentioned, just 14-13 over Berwick. A lot of movement, our first flag of the night. That gives us an opportunity to check in on the referees. Jay Rowan will be the head man in charge, and the white hat, we'll hear from him tonight. And it's a mixed crew between Wyoming Valley and Lackawanna.
False start, offense.
So not a good start for the Cougars.
No, that was going to be a quarterback keep by Consaretti.
So you mentioned that. They will move Janasa Boone around tonight. What do you expect to see from him, even though he's starting quarterback?
He's just such a dynamic runner. He's got tremendous speed when he gets out in the open field.
And here he gets the ball from the halfback spot, and he almost broke that one through. A big 11-yard gain. And there you saw Consaretti, the quarterback, Boone, lone in the backfield.
Janasa's speed is deceptive. He doesn't look like he's really running, but once he gets in the open field, he can accelerate and run with the best of them.
on that Dallas's defense, again, this year they've only given up 7.8 points per game. Dallas's defense is going to have a tough time with that outside zone with Janessa Boone running that, because he just finds that lane and he's gone.
We can see Valley View wants to get the ball in number 2's hands, and they're going to do it any way they can. This way, he's taken down by Moransky for a loss on the play, but there's a flag. Might be a face mask. But will it be offense or defense? That time, the Mountaineers read the play.
Face mask.
So it goes against Dallas. It's a spot foul, so it should give Valley View a first down. Just a 5-yarder, though.
There's that stretch outside zone, and again, you just saw the incidental hand come across the face mask, and again, the officials are going to err on the side of caution because, again, safety's number 1 now in the field of this game.
So they repeat second down. Consorelli still taking the snaps, hands off to Boone. Has a hole and just over the 50, has a first down. So here is the Quad A Driving Academy offense for the Cougars of Valley View. Well, Boone is the quarterback. He'll also be the halfback. Once in a while, Manchak and Dodo in the backfield. The receivers, Consorelli's already taking some snaps at quarterback. Well, he'll also go wide receiver along with Zapkov. And up front, 4 seniors and a sophomore in there. They're a big line as well. Boone this time back underneath center. First throw of the night, out to Zapkov. Trying to pick up a block, about a 3-yard gain.
That was a completely different set than the first series of downs. They had trips to one side, split into the other.
They're trying to thin that defense out on that.
It's going to force the Mountaineers to really be careful in terms of their alignments.
And again, I'm sure that Coach Hawanis is trying to spread that defense out, so that will give Janessa Boone a chance to do what he does best, and that's run that ball.
Like every good team, you want to put the ball in your playmaker's hands.
Absolutely.
Whether they're a receiver, running back, or the quarterback.
Consorelli back to the quarterback. He keeps it, finds a blocker and has a hole. Consorelli into the 35. Yes, thank you. Easy for you to say. Up to the 32-yard line, a big gain.
And you see the backside tackle, guard Logan Burns pulling for them and leading the way, doing a nice job on that, Stan.
Again, Dallas is going to have to identify who's that quarterback and who's in the backfield.
And I have to give credit right now to Valley View's offensive line is taking it to the defense. They're getting great position on them, and they're driving them off the ball.
So another DKB transportation first down for the Cougars. Boone from the shotgun. Moransky can't make the tackle. Kelly, but the ball is on the turf. Who has it? Boone lost the ball, and it's recovered.
Looks like it was Ryan Turlip that might have.
John Clark, number 6. We'll see who got. Here's the play again.
That was an interesting formation that they had the 3, I'm going to say a 3 tight end set, and they shifted towards the Dallas sideline. They're just going student body left, and then Janessa Boone just carrying that ball. Dallas came up with the initial. We had a missed tackle. Unfortunately, that was what the big key was in the first time they played, that Valley View couldn't tackle.
Oh, flag comes in. Again, another illegal motion against the Cougars. So after a nice 6-yard gain,
False start. Offense.
they're going to lose 5-4. But a lot of formations, a lot of guys carrying the ball here early on for the Cougars.
Well, listen, one of the things, as long as they keep the ball, they're going to keep Kelly out of that I formation, and it's going to play into their advantage.
Here's the fumble again. Ryan Turlip came up with it, but
there's the missed tackle coming up, but you see a lot of those Columbia blue jerseys coming, comes in, punches it in.
It looks like Lenny Kelly punched it out, huh? Here comes the blitz. Manchak, nowhere to go. His first carry loses a yard.
Dallas's defense is quick. Their linebackers are quick. They get to the football, and they've got good size up front.
That 4-4 defense, which has done a tremendous job for Dallas all year, and you saw how big number 75 is on that inside. He's Taylor Balesta is taking on 2 blocks, and he's still being a force in there.
Balesta had 49 tackles on the season, 18 for a loss. 3rd and long. Flag again comes in. Boone keeps it, puts his head down, has a first down, but let's see what that flag is on the far side. It's a gain of 11, but it's going to go against the Cougars again, I think. Initial call. This will be the 3rd flag on the Cougars. If it does go against the Valley View, backing them up.
It's a hold.
Nope.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 in the backfield. 5-yard penalty.
3rd and 15 now.
Stan, we're seeing a lot of different formations from Valley View.
Well, they started last week in their game against Berwick. Threw up a bunch of formations that they hadn't used all season. So this is the 2nd week in doing this.
Should be a passing situation now. 4 wideouts in there. Make it 5. Boone with time. Here comes the rush. Boone loses the ball again. And this time, Valley View gets it back. I thought a Dallas player had it momentarily, but somehow Boone came up with it.
Janasa's got to take care of the football. There's no question. Dallas got a lot of pressure. Balesta, Ballara put a lot of pressure on him.
Xander Shaner and Taylor Balesta, they did high-low on the quarterback. They came in, they did their job real nice.
So that goes as a fumble and a sack. So the punt is taken, and Dallas has the ball at the 26-yard line. Moransky took the punt. So 2nd possession coming up. We're scoreless in the District 2 4A championship. The good thing is, as Coach mentioned, Valley View held the ball for about 5 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
so now
they
they
did.
give it back to Starbuck and company. And they like to run the ball, as we know. Average 284 yards on the ground, Jan. That's Richie Manello's bread and butter.
It is. It's ever since I was fortunate enough to be an assistant coach for him, he always liked the power play. And we just had he dropped the snap.
So another fumble. The ball must be slippery or something. Let's take a look at the defense now from Quad A Driving Academy. Rosina, Kozlowski, Burns, and Clark. 63 tackles for Rosina. The linebackers, they have to play a lot better than they did last time. Turlip has 67 tackles on the year, 4 of those for a loss. And the secondary, Zafkoff, has 3 interceptions. Consoretti leads the team with 5. So a loss of yard on the fumble. Starbuck back to throw it again. Down the sidelines, and just a straight fly pattern to Moransky, goes over his head.
Savkov had good coverage on that pass. It had to be perfect. If it was back shoulder, might have been more effective. And that's what Valley View is going to have to do. They're going to have to lock up with Moransky and with Delgadio.
And that's one thing in the Berwick game we saw. Coach Manello went into the playbook, threw a lot more passes that game than we expected.
Then we absolutely against Berwick, we really thought they were just going to run, and now they've opened it up. They're trying to, I guess, get Valley View to think, okay, hey, they're going to be trying to pass, and they can throw long.
That was the 3rd pass so far of the game. None have been successful, and a little bit of a run on 3rd down, and here comes the punt team again for Dallas. And Starbuck had to keep it.
That was a counter. It was a play that normally the tailback is going to carry. The offside guard and tackle both pulled and led Starbuck up into that C gap.
And Valley View's defensive line, they're holding their ground. They're just playing their gap responsibility.
Savkov's been a very effective punt returner.
Burgess again to punt. This one a nice high hanging kick. Zafkoff from his 35. Taken down by Delgadio just past the 40-yard line.
He's a threat when he catches the ball, and he's fearless. He'll go after kicks and receive them what a lot of other players wouldn't attempt to catch.
And when you're a punt returner, Coach, right, you want experience back there.
Okay, we'll take a quick timeout. 4:31 left in the quarter. We're scoreless so far in the District 2 4A championship.
Dr. Goldringer has been practicing dentistry in Dallas for over 40 years and is a proud supporter of Dallas athletics. Wishing the Mountaineers good luck in the 2019-2020 season. New patients are always welcome.
Jan Cicek, Stan Kaharski, and Bob Ide back in Mountaineer Stadium. We're scoreless in the first quarter. Both teams have had possessions. Valley View has more yardage so far, but no score on the board.
Well, this is like the chess game. We're going to come out and show you different formations, and Dallas is coming out throwing the ball, which is unusual.
That's a late hit.
That could be a late hit. I don't see a flag as Boone was going out of bounds. No flags down. Gain of about 8.
He just gets that flip, and they're coming up. Dallas first hit, second hit.
That's a late hit. I mean, it's beyond the coach's box.
That was Matt Moransky that came up a little bit.
What you can see what the Cougars are trying to do. Boone has already touched the ball, 90% of the time. Consaretti has a run, Manchak has a run. Boone's trying to get the ball. So Consaretti back underneath center. Boone dots the I. 7 men in the box. They give it a Noto at the fullback. Gets about they're going to mark it near the first down. I thought he gained a yard, but they're going to give him 2. And it is a DKB transportation first down for Valley View inside Mountaineer territory. That's a generous spot, if you ask me.
It was, but it was a great second effort on his part running that ball.
What do you see from Dallas now? Any changes?
No, they just, again, the games we've covered for Dallas, they usually start a little bit slower. And again, they're playing a great team with Valley View, so they just have to settle down and start playing Dallas football.
Well, good read by the Mountaineers. Speaking of Dallas football, Consaretti taken down by Muser and Farrell. So let's take a look at that. Dallas defense brought to you by Quad A Driving Academy. Belair in there, Balesta in the middle, both over 225 pounds, 34 tackles for Shaner. The linebackers, well, Lenny Kelly leads the way, 71 tackles, 9 for a loss. And in the secondary, 4 interceptions from Esposito, 3 from Wren on the outside. As Coach mentioned, they give up 7.5 points per game. So a loss on the play of 4. And that's tipped away at the line of scrimmage.
That last defensive play, you'll see that the Mountaineers are crowding the line of scrimmage. They're bringing pressure. Number 21 gets his hands up and blocks that pass.
They look quick up front, Coach.
A lot of penetration. Xavier Shander was through the line of scrimmage very quickly.
It looked like the offensive linemen didn't even see them go by. They're all like staring at them behind.
Well, they're not 12-0 for no reason.
Oh yeah. So the good, solid defense. They have Valley View in a 3rd and long now. Consaretti to pass. Trying to set up a screen, can't get it. Held on the ball way too long and is taken down by Valera for a huge sack.
That was not a wise decision on the part of Jordan Consaretti. He lost close to 20 yards on this.
They go with the open hand fake, and they're trying to set up a screen, and then just constant pursuit and relentless pursuit there by the Dallas defensive line.
All the way back to the 35, and they almost blocked the punt. Picked up by Delgadio for a couple of yards, but boy, they came close to blocking that one.
Dallas.
Quinn's Market is family owned and operated for over 30 years. Quinn's has all your holiday favorites like store-made smoked kielbasa, nut and poppy rolls, and don't forget the fresh baked holiday cookies. At Quinn's Market, it's all about you.
Well, these two teams are not wasting time getting to the line of scrimmage. Kelly follows his big line. stood up after a 3-yard gain.
Dallas's defense, the front four, very quick. I mean, they're getting off the football very quickly, getting penetration. Valley View's going to have to contend with that.
Dallas opened up this series with the run, where the last 2 series they came out trying to pass. And I think they're going to settle down now and do what they do best, and that's going to run the ball.
It's already a different game than that first meeting because Dallas took a huge lead in the first quarter. We're under 2 minutes to play in the first. Kelly got tripped up, but close to a first down, about 2 yards short.
This is the first time that they've crossed the 40-yard line in their 3 possessions. So Valley View's defense is up to the task so far.
And here we
getting off. Janasa takes on a block.
And you see they're just going to keep feeding the ball, give them the rock, and they're just going to do what they do, try to wear Valley View's defense down.
Quarterback's playing up tight. Back to Kelly, has a hole. Biggest hole of the night, biggest run for Lenny Kelly down the sidelines. Hawadins gets him and tracks him down at the 1. First and goal, Dallas. 1 minute to play in the quarter. It's a DKB transportation. First down.
On this play, the Dallas coaching staff must see something they like on the right side. That's 3 plays in a row they went to that side.
Janasa Boone didn't set the edge, and the linebackers got caught up in the wash. The offensive line blocking down. All 3 linebackers got shaded off.
Stan, we were talking pre-game about if the linebackers are creeping up, they are going to get caught up in that.
And Kelly knows what to do. I mean, he sees that daylight, that gap, and he's just going to accelerate into it.
They're inside the Allied Services red zone, knocking on the door. Starbuck, the keeper, behind the big line. And it is a Mac Daly State Farm touchdown for the Mountaineers.
I'm wondering if on that last run, Lenny Kelly, when he got drugged down from behind, if he may have tweaked his back or something. He got up a little gingerly there.
I'm surprised he was run down, to be honest with you.
Well, that was great hustle on Juanes there.
Freshman was able to run him down.
And that big line just does the job up front, pushing Starbuck in. His 8th touchdown on the ground.
We said coming into the game that they could not allow Lenny Kelly to dominate like he did the first game.
Ryan Fisher, it is up and through. And in that first game, Stan, he ran for 297 yards, his biggest output of the season.
He's a workhorse. I mean, we've said this before. He's not very big. It's not like he's 220 pounds at 6'1". Yet he's shown great durability. He's had a great season, almost 2,000 yards. He's tough to bring down.
And
here we'll see. Watch the linebackers get cut off. 5-31. They don't even come close.
And the way that Dallas has that block, they're going to tell their offensive tackles to give that step to gain ground for the offensive running back.
4 plays, 67 yards. All but one of those yards by Lenny Kelly. So they got their workhorse score going, did the Mountaineers, and now they lead 7-0, 56 seconds left.
That was a quick strike, too, for, 4 plays,
yep.
4 offensive plays.
Ryan Fisher trying to tee it up for a Keystone College kickoff. Finally does. The wind at his back. This one should sail pretty long. And he scripts it on the ground. It's picked up by Consaretti, and he goes past the 35 to the 37. So here come the Cougars now trailing.
Sebastianelli's Family Restaurant, serving the community for the last 60 years. Sebastianelli's is a proud sponsor of the Valley View Cougars on their quest to a 3rd straight district championship.
Stan, just 1 pass thrown so far was incomplete for Valley View. As Dallas picks up that run more, do you think they have to throw a little bit more?
Well, I said coming into the game, I thought that they could throw a little bit more.
Boone shed a couple tackles, but then all of the Dallas Mountaineers seem to be there. They'll give him only about a 2-yard gain.
I wonder.
Janasa knows, he should know when he's into traffic like that, he's got to make sure he protects the football. You can
There's
see
that
it's
counter
Redskin,
tray.
Yeah, counter tray. And see, when he's fighting to get every inch, that ball is all over the place.
I wonder, though, Stan, and what I was going to say is, I wonder with the wind tonight, as strong as it is right now in Valley View's
That's a
face,
good
if they
point.
said, we're just going to run it now, and then when we have the wind, we'll try to open up maybe our passing game.
The quarter's going to end. There's
Yep.
just a second between the play clock.
The quarter will end, and that will do it. So there's one quarter in the books for the District 2 4A championship. The Mountaineers have the 7-0 lead as we get set for quarter number 2.
All right, started the second quarter. We're going to hold up this game until we get some real nice smiles. I have a nice young lady here, and there you go. Let's smile for the camera. That's real good. I can tell you've been practicing. This is the KC Dental Smile Cam. And what's your name?
Hadley.
Hi, Atlee. Well, you have a good smile, and is that your sister? And she's got a pretty good smile, too. What's your name? Audrey. So we got Atlee and Audrey, and this is our KC Dental Smile Cam. And now we can play some football. Let's start the second quarter.
Two lovely girls here on the Dallas sidelines. Thank you, Paul. And thank you for your Casey Dental. So we are back, Mountaineer Stadium. Bob I, Jan Cechek, Stan Kaharski in the booth. 7-0 the score for the District 2 championship. Dallas scored late in that first quarter. Valley View has the ball. Conzaretti get a handoff to Boone, looking for a block. Nowhere to go. Barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, I think he lost a half yard. Right now, Dallas is just keying on number 2.
And as they should, because he is their biggest threat all season. Actually, the last 2 years, that young man, he's just a special athlete.
At some point, Stan, Valley View's got to mix it up a little bit.
Well, listen, I've told you this week after week. I'm big on matchups, and especially on first down. I'd attack the corners. They've got two good receivers in Consaretti and Savkov. I would just go one-on-one and see whether they can defend you.
The crowd on hand here and all bundled up. Boone looking over the middle, and it's almost picked off by Kelly. Janasa double pump trying to get to Noto, and that call almost cost him.
I don't know what to say. I mean, Lenny Kelly is a special kid. Right here, he's played this linebacker spot so well. He read the quarterback's eyes, and I'm sure, well, he's kicking himself right now that he didn't get that interception.
Rosina barely brings it down. Has nothing to do but square up and take it. It's as good as a block. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Dallas takes over on downs at the Cougar 38-yard line.
Dallas is getting great penetration against that punt protection. You'll see here a lot of blue shirts. There's two of them, and there's a third.
Speaking with Coach Manello during the week, I know they spent a lot of time on the special teams game this week because he wanted to make sure that they were sound and they were going to put pressure on the Cougars.
Well, Valley View's defense has to stop Dallas if they want to stay in the game. Back to Kelly. Kelly finds room again. From behind, Kelly is taken down inside the 20 at the 12-yard line. Gain of 22.
The offensive line, Stan, we've talked about this week in and week out. They are just dominating right now. Valley View's getting a little bit too high. Dallas is getting underneath and moving them out.
Again, you'll see that there are angle blocks on the linebackers. Linebackers aren't getting to the point of attack, and it's the result is Kelly running at will.
A DKB transportation first down. And they're inside the Allied Services red zone. Are the Mountaineers of Dallas trying to extend their lead? Back to Muser, a couple yards, trying to sneak the fullback through.
And that play, that's just trying to keep your defense honest in terms of if they're going to start to try to key on Lenny Kelly, we're going to come back and hit you with Danny Muser.
Well, Danny Muser has played well in the last half of the season. He's a physical fullback, and he can run the football.
Yeah, he's run for 755 yards and 10 touchdowns. But back to the workhorse, Kelly. This time he's taken down by Consaretti. Nice block. Brings up third down.
We have a Valley View Cougar that's
like
shaken up.
Ryan Turlip, number 5, one of the linebackers.
So looks like both teams going to their sidelines.
I don't know whether he got kicked.
Danielle Angeloni, associate broker with ERA. One Source Realty is your premier listing agent who will get your home sold. If you have a home in Lackawanna County and you'd like to sell it, get Danielle. Call Danielle anytime for a free, no obligation valuation on your home at 570-466-5205. That's 570-466-5205. And remember, want it to sell? Get Danielle.
So they're holding Turlip's right hand and wrist. That's a big loss. It's a guy who has 67 tackles on the year, and then you see what happened again. He landed on, he's holding his hand.
His right hand.
Yep.
And TJ Noto is the backup who's had some time there, 16 tackles.
But again, it's those linebackers that have to make the reads. You guys have talked about it a lot tonight already. So it's a big linebacker to lose. 3rd and long coming up for the Mountaineers. Cougars come with the pressure. Starbuck has Moransky just out of his reach. He got a hand on it, in fact. Maybe had to twist around a little bit too much to make the catch.
See if this was a double move by Moransky. I see this on the replay.
Can't see the move.
For him to get that far beyond Alex Safkoff, he must have used a double move. Like a post corner type thing.
Ryan Fisher tees it down. Now the wind is coming in his face and it's gaining some gust. Moransky's the holder. Fisher has a long of 36 this year. This one will be from the 26, just about 36, and it looks like it's going to the right. Oh, somehow it blew back in. What a kick by Ryan Fisher.
I didn't know if somebody hit that because of the way that ball all of a sudden took off, so I guess that's the wind.
It went to the right and ended up over the goalpost. What a kick for Ryan Fisher, the wind. Doing a lot of tricks here at Dallas. It gives the Mountaineers a 10-0 lead.
Both those scoring opportunities are a result of line runs by Kelly. We've said this over and over again. He's the difference maker for this football team.
I mean, to run for, well, he's run now for over 2,000 yards, and he's had 30 touchdowns this season. He is a special young man. I mean, but Stan, and you said this earlier, he's not 6'2", 220 pounds. He's just a great athlete.
Well, oftentimes it's the heart in the kid rather than his physical physique.
Keystone College kickoff. Fisher just squibs it down. Taken by Consaretti past the 30, to the 34-yard line. That's where the Cougars, now trailing by 10, will take over. 9:25 left in the first half.
Joe Starfersky and DKB Transportation are proud sponsors of the Valley View Cougars.
So just like in the first game with this team, Valley View is trailing. Now down 10-0. Boone to Manchak. 4-yard gain. Nice little run. So let's check in now with our Rado Pizza keys to the game. For Valley View, Stan, well, we talked about it all week. They have to tackle better, and you can't have any turnovers.
And they haven't tackled consistently when Lenny Kelly has run the football. The first couple of carries, they held him to almost no gain, but he's had 2 big gains that set up scores.
This is a huge drive. Don't you think they need to get something back?
Because then they're going to be able to get the ball to start the third quarter.
Back to Manchak. He has a nice hold. He's got wallop in the secondary. by, it looks like Moransky, but it is a DKB transportation first down.
Moransky's a tough football player.
And I'll
Good
tell you what,
receiver.
Manchek, boy, does he come out of it like a gun. He comes out like a bullet out of there.
You know, and they've had the coaches I know told him a couple of weeks ago to finish his runs. And that time, certainly, there was a good collision on the part of both the offensive and defensive players.
Back to Manchek again. Taken down quickly underneath. Gain of 2.
Stan, do you think they're trying to set up a quarterback on this one, a quarterback keep? We're going to pound the ball with Manchek and then come back with Janessa?
Part of this approach is to get the physicality. The first game, there was no physicality on the part of Valley View for the most part. And they want to line up and get after it, and that's what they're trying to do with these formations more so than they think that they can block Dallas's front and linebackers.
Manchek's gained 821 yards on the season. Now this is a Boone keeper. He comes through, holds on to the ball, taken down by Bolera, short of the first down.
It appears that Valley View is putting all their cards in one hand, and that is that they're going to try to run the football right at Dallas.
Well, the third series in this game that Valley View has had the ball on Dallas' side, but they haven't converted anything. In fact, the last time they lost 20 yards.
Well, they've got about a long 4, close to 5 yards to pick up here, or they may have to punt again.
They're going to hand it off and nowhere to go for Manchek.
He slipped on that too.
Slipped in the turf.
But
User was there, along with Esposito.
Those linebackers for the Mountaineers have done a great job all year. They're very patient. They go through their reads, and you can see that they're coming in gang tackling, which I know Coach Manello and his defensive staff really preach, and they practice every day.
There wasn't much of a hole there anyway. So this punt by Busta, it looked like, instead of Rosina, he gets it off. And now Mountaineers leading with 6:34 left in the half, have the ball to start this series at their own 22.
Parents, save money on car insurance. Quad A Driving Academy is a certified PennDOT third-party tester. We have helped over 10,000 new drivers become safe and confident licensed drivers. Save money by checking us out at quadadrive.com.
So Dallas starts in the I. Kelly had a hole and stiff armed somebody and came up near the 30 for a 7-yard gain.
Stan, I noticed the linebackers are a little bit deeper, those 2 inside linebackers, but this, how Coach Manello teaches his offensive line is they're going to get to that second level and they're going to seal block that, and they've been doing an effective job.
Well, TJ Noto is in for Ryan Turlip, and he got blocked that time. He's number 8.
Safeties are down 2 for Valley View. Expecting the run, they get the run again. But Kelly finds a hole, picks up a DKB transportation first down with a gain of about 6. So back to the workhorse they go. Why not? Lenny Kelly, they carry the ball a lot. Here are the Grotto keys to the game. Jan, for Dallas, boy, special teams, we talk about that all the time. And as Coach Manello says,
it's 1:30 of the game, and we're going to be sound on special teams. And he shared with me that they spent a lot of time going over every special team scenario that could possibly occur.
They want to stick to the game plan. The game plan is run the ball. This time, Muser, the fullback, shoots up past right at the 40.
Well, TJ Noto just went to the sideline, so I believe Ryan Turlip just came back in.
We'll check for.
I'm trying to see
number 5 in there.
They're standing sideways, so I cannot see who it is.
This is a huge series for the defense of the Cougars.
Pass.
No, they give it to Kelly. And Kelly gets to the outside, gets the corner, has a DKB transportation first down near midfield. gain of 10.
You can see Kelly here, sticks his foot in the ground here, and gets to the outside. Conceretti is frozen by that move. That's what good runners do, they make people miss.
And that was number 9, Alex Sakoff, coming up there and making that stop.
Well, they tackle him, but they're tackling him 10 yards down the field.
Which is not what defense coordinators want their kids doing.
So a nice drive now. Maybe it will take them to the end of the half. We'll see. No throws again. Right back to Kelly. Breaks 2 tackles. Almost a third and loses the ball, but there's a blue jersey there. The Mountaineers have it. A lucky break for Dallas right at the 30-yard line of the Cougars.
You'll see on this play, here come the backside guard and tackle. Colin Zeiss and Josh Blair leading the way.
See, one of the things, all their runs are downhill. Kelly's going north and south, or north in this particular case. Valley View at times going more laterally than they are attacking the line of scrimmage.
And Janessa Boone was the one that caused that fumble on that. He came from that side. Lenny was making his cut. The ball kind of came away from his body, and heads up play by Janessa Boone to pull that ball out.
The offensive line of Dallas is really taking care of their defensive front of Valley View.
Four linemen down for Valley View and some movement.
Too many people on the field, maybe?
Dead ball, delay a game.
Play clock?
Yep, play clock. Didn't know if it was a timeout by Coach Manello. 3:40 left in this half. So back up Dallas 5. Makes it 1st and 15. Mountaineers beating Crestwood last week in the semifinals. In the opening round, they took care of Appleton Heights easily, 56-14. Of course, they won their game against Lake Lehman, 45-6. As Starbuck is tripped up by Colhard. Yep. The junior linebacker brings up 2nd down and long.
It appears that Dallas's approach is very simple. Kelly, 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 give him a playoff, Kelly, Kelly, Kelly.
Well, if you have the offensive line, you can do that.
Yeah,
because he has
no
big
question.
holes to run through. Single coverage on the outside. Back to Kelly, has some room. Zapkov missed the tackle. They finally catch up to him. Give him 6 on that, bring up 3rd down.
That was defensive end number 55, Kyler Rosina, making this tackle 5 yards downfield. But again, good pursuit by the Cougars. They've just got to be a little bit more physical up front, and I think their pad level's a little bit too high.
They got to balance up when they're tackling. Kelly makes people miss, but they've got to stay their feet under their shoulders.
There's Coach Manello.
Calling timeout.
Timeout on the field, 2:20 left in the half. Dallas up 10-0 in the district championship.
Dallas has a 10-0 lead here in the 2nd quarter, and we've talked a lot about last year's district championship matchup between these two teams, but how about 7 years ago? 2011, the same two teams played right here for the district championship back when the field was grass, and on that day, Dallas jumped out to a 12-0 lead, but Valley View ran off 18 straight points to win it 18-12. Well, the marquee name in that game, one Naeem Wortman-White for Valley View, who went on to play at Penn State. He had 1 catch for 1 yard. He also had 1 interception. That game featured 8 turnovers, and we're seeing the ball land on the ground a lot today. One other noteworthy fact from that game, Dallas had a total of 56 rushing yards. I think they've already passed that by now tonight. Oh, and by the way, Coach Stan Koharski was a member of that Valley View coaching staff. Good memories for you, Coach?
Absolutely. That was a special group. That was a group of young men who left their egos at the door. That clip that you showed there, that was Brian Lally scoring that touchdown. And Brian was a great receiver. We didn't throw the ball that much that year. We ran the ball quite a bit. Brian was a great contributor, along with Naeem, of course.
Back on this game, Starbuck back to pass. Here comes the rush. They set up a screen, but the Cougars read it. 4th down coming up. They hit Muser. But that time Valley View was ready. Coach Manello going to leave his offense out.
Well, they've done a good job against Valley View's offense, so this is not a big risk. They don't make it. The Valley View doesn't have good field position with less than 2 minutes to go.
If you're Valley View, are you setting a blitz? You're trying to put pressure on?
I'd be careful that they don't run some play action here.
I think they might call timeout because Starbuck got the play late, and we're already under 10 seconds. Yep, Coach Manello is going to call timeout. So the second timeout in the half for Dallas is called. 1:32 left to go in this quarter. And Dallas trying to extend the lead 10-0. Valley View, of course, will get the ball to begin the second half. Pretty much what we expected. A little bit better score than last time these two teams met in Week 8 up in Valley View.
Well, we have 2 championship teams here playing with a lot of pride. They have a great community support from their peewees all the way up, and this is what we would have expected. I didn't think it was going to be a really high-scoring game this season.
No, Valley View's offense has got to get into gear, though. They've been inconsistent running the football. They haven't really thrown the ball one time maybe. So they've got to go into the locker room and regroup and perhaps adjust their game plan.
So here's the Dallas schedule through the season. Of course, 12-0 coming in. We were here for the Berwick game. Of course, you see that Valley View game. Every time it looks like they touch the ball, they score over 30 points. That's why you have an offense that averages just about 43. And then in the playoffs, they've just dominated, Jan.
They really have. And I mean, the lowest scoring game was the Berwick game they had this year. And Berwick came out, really had opportunities and didn't seize them. And we're seeing that, I think, right now with Valley View. They've had decent field position, and they're just not finishing any drives at this point.
So a big 4th down in the game. Valley View sends about 7. They give it to Kelly as a whole. Kelly has a 1st down, and he's still on his feet, pushed out of bounds inside the Allied Services red zone at the 11.
The key to that was right there, number 23, Luke Delgaudio, who just recently signed with Bucknell, that does a great job seal blocking down to allow Lenny Kelly to get to that outside edge.
They're getting those big offensive linemen out in front of him, and Valley View just can't deal with that effectively.
When you need a yard, you go right back to your bread and butter, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not a hard formula. Valley View knows where they're going. Dallas knows who's going to be getting the ball, and that would be Janessa Boone.
10th play of the drive, Coach. And we said they might run out the clock, and looks like they're going to. Back to Kelly, big hole up the middle. Still on his feet. Adam Awan, it finally wraps him up. No whistle. But he was stopped inside the 5.
You'll see here, Kelly's getting to the second level without a white shirt getting on him at all. So right there, and he gets that head of steam up, and he's tough to bring down. There's 5 or 6 Cougars there, and he's still on his feet.
And number 76, Josh Belair, pulled on that play, and there was nobody at that second level, which is what he was looking for.
Under a minute to play. Back to Kelly. Tripped up on the line of scrimmage as looks like Clark shot in and got him. Clock stop for the 1st down, so it's a DKB transportation 1st down. So 1st and goal, Dallas at the 1.
And they're just overlapping by having that offensive line pull up inside, and they're just giving it to Lenny.
No signal yet. Looking for Starbuck. They're gonna.
They better use their last time out.
They marked it short. The clock is still rolling. They're going to come up quickly, not worried about a timeout. Under 10 seconds. Starbuck holds on to it and loses yardage. Timeout called. 1 second left in the quarter.
Valley View did a great job of reestablishing that line of scrimmage. They really got into the offensive line.
And you'll see
Kyler
Stan, that's a
Rosino.
great observation. That time they got underneath and they were controlling it.
Well,
and they
yeah,
shot the
you
gas.
and I have said this over and over again. It's those guys up front on the O and the D. The one that controls that line of scrimmage is usually the team that wins.
Okay, well, how about the clock management there? I
Not
mean,
good.
the referees took a long time. They should have probably stopped the clock.
They should have, but again, we're at this point in time in the season, and
They're going to put 5 seconds on the clock, it looks like. But Coach Manella had that timeout. He could have called it.
he could have, yes, and I think maybe they were trying to catch Valley View off guard by going to a quick snap.
I don't understand why time has been put back on the clock.
So they're at the 2-yard line.
I mean, they were
4
running the
seconds.
ball.
Yeah.
No timeout.
No timeout, yeah.
They don't have to worry about spotting the ball.
I actually thought he called the timeout around the 2-second mark. Back to the I formation. You think Kelly's getting the ball.
Absolutely.
It's a big play for Valley View. They don't want to go in to the
They take a
half
timeout.
down 17-0. And they have a chance now to keep it to get two scores.
2 scores, and again,
They get
if
the
they
ball.
if they get stout, and Stan just said it, they come out with the ball third quarter. You know that Coach Awanitz and his staff are going to make those adjustments, and they're going to get their kids to do what they do best.
I don't think they can use the same approach in the second half and expect a different result. The defense of the Mountaineers is quick. Their second-level people get to the football, and those big guys up front, they're just controlling the line of scrimmage.
14th play of the drive. They got the ball back with 4:22 left in the quarter.
Bob, you said
What
earlier,
an impressive drive.
You said earlier that you thought that they may be able to run it out to the half.
It's an impressive drive, but if it ends with no points, I don't know how that Valley View has to feel good going into the half.
That they're only down 10-0.
Lenny Kelly getting the ball. I mean, we want to make a bet. Anybody? Anybody out there?
Bye, Mr. Vegas here.
What are the odds? Now maybe that's what Valley View's thinking, right? Another timeout call.
Well, there's no reason to save them. I mean, they saw that they were in a flanker set, 2 tight ends, I backfield.
Chess match?
Oh, big time. Big chess match. And that's the first couple series. That's what we saw. Valley View was trying to say, okay, we're going to give you a different formation, and we're going to attack you. Let's see how you respond. Dallas came out trying to pass the ball, which is unusual. The first 2 possessions, and then they settled down, do what they do best. They ran it, and they had success.
How about a couple scores from the area? Dunmore losing to Bishop McDevitt, AA state playoffs. At the half, it's 12-6. Wyoming area is beating Scranton Prep in the second of the 3A championship. It's now 14-0. And I believe Delaware Valley was losing to State College in the second quarter as well. Coach will get a score for me on that. And Lackawanna Trail and Williams Valley were going back and forth. And that's also state playoffs. So here we go. Could be the last play. They give it to Kelly. Kelly in easily off the right side. And it's a Matt Daly State Farm touchdown for the Mountaineers.
Well, you were setting the lines in Vegas.
Yeah.
The house wins on that one.
Great kick-out block by Danny Muser that time. It was a double team on the part of the tackle and the tight end.
14 plays, 78-yard drive. Took off 4:22 on the clock. And after the PAT, which is good by Fisher, the Mountaineers, looking for their first district title since 1999, have a 17-0 lead going into the half. So that will do it. We'll take it to the break with that score, and at halftime on our Toyota Halftime Report, we'll check in on the Fox 56 News First at 10, see what's coming up on that. Paul Grippy has a special interview from Allied Services, and then the coaches and I will be back with stats and highlights from the first half. It's the District 2 4A Championship on MyTV.
as the teams get ready to prepare for the second half of football tonight, we visit the Allied Services facility here in Clark Summit with some exciting news. I'm joined by Bill Conboy, the president of Allied Services, and Allied always has been expanding, but this past week a new expansion into Wilkes-Barre.
Yes, thanks very much. It's really a great week for the Allied Services healthcare system, for the Diocese of Scranton, for the communities of Northeast and Central Pennsylvania, and most importantly, for the residents, the patients, and the employees of the facilities in Wilkes-Barre that Allied Services purchased from the Diocese of Scranton.
And you've been building up to this for a while, looking at it, and finally purchased them this past week. What's your intentions with those facilities?
Yes, after months of work, we intend with these facilities, which are formerly known as Little Flower Manor and St. Therese Residence, which are on Meade Street in Wilkes-Barre, and formerly known as St. Luke's Villa, which is on Northampton Street in Wilkes-Barre. These are skilled nursing facilities, personal care facilities, and one independent living facility. So our intent is to continue the wonderful tradition of care that the Diocese of Scranton has provided for many years, and to bring our resources to improve those facilities and hopefully to improve the care, although it's always been terrific, but to bring our skill set, our clinicians, our expertise to those facilities and continue to operate them as they are.
Yes, the diocese made the establishment in the community, and now Allied Services will continue their work and grow it, make it big, make it prosperous for years to come. And most importantly, you're continuing with the residents, you're continuing with all the staff there as well.
Absolutely. We made that commitment with the diocese when we reached the agreement to purchase the facilities. Certainly to continue to operate them as they are, again, to bring our expertise to all those levels of care. But also, we kept all the employees that wanted to stay with us. Certainly some chose to retire, etc. But the great majority, nearly 400 employees, now will become employees of Allied Services, bringing our numbers of employment in this community to an excess of 4,000 employees.
We're one of the largest employers in northeastern and central Pennsylvania, but again, it's always about community with Allied. This is in the heart of Wilkes-Barre. You're going to establish yourself as part of the neighborhood, helping all of Wilkes-Barre, the city, branching out into Luzerne County. That's what Allied does best.
Thank you. That really is our commitment. That's our mission. That's the difference with a not-for-profit healthcare system. Part of our mission is not only the care that we provide, but also to strengthen the communities where we operate. And we're really thrilled to be in this part of Wilkes-Barre. We, of course, have our campus in Wilkes-Barre, the John Hines campus on Monday Street. But now we move into another section of Wilkes-Barre, and we look forward to continuing to grow these operations and to supporting the community and our employees and the people we care for.
And always good to see a business growing and prospering in northeastern Pennsylvania and doing well. And I'm sure this isn't the end. I'm sure down the road we'll have more announcements because Allied is always growing. But for now, exciting news this week, and I know there's a lot of thrills around the Allied Services community.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Okay, Bill Conboy, the president of Allied Services. They're growing and expanding, and this week the announcement is in Wilkes-Barre. We thank them for their support all season long, and we'll be back with the second half of football right here on Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.
We are back at the friendly confines of Mountaineer Stadium in the back mountain. We are in Dallas, and the Mountaineers lead the District 2 4A championship 17-0 over Valley View. We bring it back in the booth. I'm Bob. That's Jan, and that's Stan. These guys were coaches. I was not a coach. So they're giving the analysis tonight, and your analysis of the first half is what, Jan?
Dallas is doing what they do best. They're running the ball, giving it to Lenny Kelly. Coach Manello, we're going to put the ball in your hands and make it happen.
They tried to get Boom going, but not much success.
Dallas's defense has been superb. Up front, they're creating havoc. They're reestablishing the line of scrimmage on Valley View's side, and when they do that, obviously there's very few places to run. Janasa is very talented, but he's a little careless with the football. He's trying to make plays when there's really no plays to be made.
Okay, before I ask you about the second half, breaking down that, let's take a look at some first half highlights. Not much scoring in the first couple of series until Lenny Kelly broke this one off, Jan, for a 58-yard gain.
He does a nice job. They saw something on the right-hand side of that offensive line of scrimmage. 3 plays in a row, and he broke that third one for 58 yards. Adam Hwanitz, great second effort. They didn't give up and brought him down.
Starbuck punched it in, and then one of the strangest field goals, 26 yards for Fisher, kind of went to the right and to the left, and then Kelly caps it with no time left on the clock in the first half, and that's where we stand now, 17-0. Lenny Kelly, 15 carries, 166 yards. As a whole, Dallas has 23 carries for 175. And as we said now, Lenny Kelly has 2,100 yards rushing on the season.
And he started in 1988, and now he's at over 2,100, Bob. I thought it was interesting to start the game, all the different formations, Stan, that Valley View came out, trying to get that one-on-one matchup that you were talking about.
Again, it remains to be seen how they're going to approach the second half. They're going to get the ball. We'll see pretty quickly what their approach is going to be.
Well, the approach has to be maybe getting Boone going. They did try to establish him early. He has 8 carries to 26 yards overall.
There's no balance in their offense at this point, and Janasa is a much better passer than people give him credit for. You know, he's thrown for quite a number of yards during the course of the season, thrown for almost 60%, thrown for quite a number of touchdowns. But how he's being used the last 2 weeks, it's a different approach. Being behind 17-0, they're going to have to put some points on the board.
They tried to throw with Conceretti and with Boone, but the line couldn't hold Dallas back. That's going to if you don't have time to throw the ball down the field, how are you going to?
Again, who's controlling the line of scrimmage? And it's on both sides. It's been the Dallas Mountaineers.
And it's interesting that Valley View gets the ball to start, but they're also going to have the wind at their back the fourth quarter. So I thought maybe with Dallas kicking off, they got a choice of field position, and they took the win the third quarter.
Yeah. Overall, Valley View has 18 carries, 37 total yards. Passing, 1 for 3 yards, so that is 40 total yards. A lot of that yardage came on that one sack by Conceretti had. He didn't get rid of the ball. That lost about 15 to 20 overall.
Bob, we can go back to last year when these two teams played up at Valley View for the district championship. And, you know, Valley View pretty much without Starbuck playing for Dallas had their way. And Richie Manella knew at that particular point in time that he had a lot of underclassmen. And this was going to be a good learning situation for them. They were going to come back with a vengeance. And they knew coming into this season that they were the ones that had the X on their back. They were the team to beat. And, of course, they've proven that they were the team to beat.
And they still are. And, Stan, you brought up a point pre-game that you noticed that there was how many seniors playing on both sides of the ball for both of these teams?
According to the starting lineups that we had, offensively, Dallas had 11 seniors starting the game. Defensively, they had 8 starting the game.
Paul Grippy going to get a quick word with Coach Hwanitz. Paul?
Okay, Coach, this is a situation your team hasn't seen a lot, but you have been in this situation against Dallas, so how you prepare for it this time for the second half?
Well, we just got to play a little more physical. They beat us up front. We missed a couple tackles, and I thought we had a couple chances to score on some drives. We made a couple mistakes, so hopefully we can limit those mistakes and have a little better second half.
Do you guys feel confident in the locker room?
Yeah, we've been here before. We've been in this situation, so we'll play and see how it goes.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
Thank you.
Get ready for an exciting 24 minutes here.
Hopefully, Valley View will get the ball to receive as we get set to start the third quarter for the District 2 4A Championship. It's a Keystone College kickoff by Ryan Fisher. He hasn't kicked it deep all night. He's kind of squibbed it a little bit. That's they want to do. And we have an offsides, I believe, against the Mountaineers.
I think that's the first time I've seen that call this year, and I've seen some offsides that haven't been called.
So that will back up Dallas's 5 yards. Should give good field position.
Stan, you've seen Valley View a lot more than I have this season. Is that typical that they would have 5 skilled kids up front? Or do you think that they are thinking there could be like an onside or the squib?
Take a look at the numbers. They're all young substitutes. Those 5 there, I don't believe there's a single starter there.
Big hop to Zafkoff from his 18. Going to take it all the way across the field and finds a gap. Zafkoff is out in front. Still on his feet inside Dallas territory down to the 31-yard line. There's the KC smile cam after that big run. Maybe some happy Valley View player, faithful. Well, they're happy about that. Maybe we could take a look at that run after this play. So the Cougars get the ball inside Mountaineer territory. Consorelli will be underneath center. Boone alone in the backfield. And timeout by the Cougars. Okay, so Zafkoff picks up some nice yardage off the right-hand side.
This is a great way for Valley View to respond, coming right out of the gate, getting the ball at Dallas's 32-yard line.
Well, you can see why Dallas has decided to squib kick it or at least keep it on the ground. Alex Zafkoff, punt and kickoff returns, he's been sensational this year, giving Valley View great field position.
And I was talking to you earlier, Stan, about that, having Zafkoff back there, a kid that, as you said, is fearless, and he's gotten better with that experience. He is a major threat back there on all those returns.
That's why you want to kick away from him.
So after the timeout, Cougars have the ball, give it to Boone. Couple blocks for Boone, gets the outside, and close to a first down.
It appears that Valley View is going to stick with their multiple formations and really getting their linemen and blocking backs to one side.
Better blocking on the right-hand side that time.
They did, and Taylor Balesta on that time for Dallas came a little bit too far up. Again, over-penetrated, which allowed Boone to get that cutback lane inside.
Gain of 9. Boone again left side. Picks up a DKB transportation first down. Gain of 2. Tackled by Lenny Kelly.
You got to give Valley View some credit here. I mean, they believe in what they're doing. They've established that they're going to try to be physical, and Coach Awan said this, and we said this during the first half, that the physicality on the part of the Cougars has to be part of their approach.
Well, they're physical on this series, and they're inside the Allied Services red zone. Boone into the shotgun. Picks a block on the left side, has running room, and gets inside the 15 to the 12.
I like how they're coming out and they're mixing it up. They came out the first 2 plays, and they were playing man. They were playing, we're going to overpower you with our men. On that last play, they spread you out, and that time there was just such huge lanes for Janessa Boone to run.
Wind is still in their face. It's about 10 miles an hour going left to right on your screen. There's Coach Hawanitz. 13th season, has 3 district titles as the coach, looking for number 4 tonight. Consorelli to Boone, and that time the defense stands him up close to a first down. Let's see where they're going to mark it. Well, they're inside the 10. They're marking it at the 9. That should move the chains. It is a DKB transportation first down. And it is first and goal from the 9 for the Cougars. Four straight runs for Janassa Boone.
And the formations, again, first they were trying to overpower you with their man, with the overlapping, and then they're spreading you out. Now they're coming back into that power formation.
Here they're at a jumbo to the right.
Consorelli fakes it, keeps it, gets up to the 5. If they go the opposite way, he's going to have a whole lane to run the ball.
We're going back.
That's Coach Ide making that call.
Just saying.
Just saying.
This
reminds me of single wing football right now.
It does.
Getting all those
throwback.
all those student body right, student body left.
Boone, the lone tailback, in motion now. Concerelli can throw. No, he fakes it, and it's a quarterback draw. Dallas was aware of it. No gain on the play.
Good discipline by the defensive line of Dallas that time, not to over-penetrate, play their gap responsibilities, and be patient. You see that Valley View's trying to cut block. Did a nice job. Taylor Balesta with his hand placement on top of the back of the offensive lineman, not to get chopped, and he made the play.
Let's see if they try and throw the ball or get it back into Boone's hands.
They better hurry up here.
They already used a timeout in this opening series. They get it off. They give it to Boone. Boone to the corner, cuts in, and
touchdown.
He's in for a Matt Daly State Farm touchdown for Valley View. He must have just got in when he got hit.
Great job, toss play here. Nice job picking up number 8 for
That's
Valley
TJ
View.
Noto.
TJ Noto does a nice job pushing him out. Janessa does a great job reading that and cuts back inside.
Kowalczyk in for the extra point. It is up and good. And we have ourselves a ball game in the back mountain. Valley View back into it. Trailing by 10 now with 8:45 left in the third quarter. We are back. 7-play, 32-yard drive, and the Cougars are suddenly down just 2 scores in this District 2 4A championship. It all started on special teams. Can Dallas get it back now? It's a Keystone College kickoff. Jacob Kasserine will do the honors. He's been squibbing him to the right in practice. Let's see what he's going to do here. Goes to the right, but it's deep, and it's taken from the 16-yard line by Wren. Valley View's there for the stop. Good field position, though, for Dallas, up to the 37.
Cam Graphics is your #1 source for printing in Northeast Pennsylvania. They offer screen printing, embroidery, graphics, and more. Stop in their store at 210 Scranton Carbondale Highway in Einan to check out their latest trends in school spirit wear. One call gets it all at Cam Graphics. 2019 Weekender Reader's Choice for Best T-Shirt Printer.
Let's see what the Cougars can do now on defense. Much more physical from the offensive line. Kelly still has a hole, shoots through, and just like that, he has 4 yards.
I noticed on that the defensive line of Valley View was almost doing a submarine technique on that, where they're getting below. You'll see this, they're getting underneath of Dallas's offensive linemen.
But see, they're kind of diving at feet, and they don't even know where Kelly is for the most part. And he's square to the line of scrimmage, going downhill at 100 miles an hour.
Kelly, good tackle, gain of 1.
Clark was on the tackle. Yep. That would have been a big run there if Clark wasn't able to get underneath.
Clark, a 210-pound senior, so a big third down now in what has become a ball game.
It was a great response for Valley View to come right out to start the third quarter, take 3.5 minutes off the clock, and score.
They give it to Kelly, being chased down, can't get back to the line of scrimmage, and the Cougars are there to make the stop. Zavkov came up and shoved Kelly out of bounds.
Did a great job in their lane stand.
They did.
And you'll see this. Lenny's trying to string it out, and you said that. That time they made him go east-west.
Go east and west. And when he gets his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, he's tough. He's tough. He creates a lot of momentum going downhill.
This is how the game started, with Valley View making a couple stops, but they couldn't get any points to show for it. Burgess, nice kick. Zavkov back from his 20. Moransky makes the stop, and the Cougars and Janasa Boone take back the field. The ball will be at the 28-yard line.
Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by Northeast Outdoor Services, LLC. Northeast Pennsylvania's premier outdoor servicing, specializing in landscape, hardscape, and snow removal. Check them out on Facebook and give them a call today for an estimate on your next outdoor project.
So 5 wideouts, Boone underneath center. Dallas going to rush 4. Boone going to the other side. It's blocked again. That's the second time tonight that a Dallas Mountaineer.
That's Jack Farrell. Get up and slam that. He's 6'3".
And with those arms up in the air, he's probably over 7 foot tall easily. Jack Farrell at defensive end, he's been that quiet guy getting it done, but also on that last play before the half, he was the key block for Lenny Kelly on that at his tight end spot.
Good job by Farrell knocking that down. Cazzaretti back to quarterback. He tries to get outside and is taken down, about a 2-yard gain.
R.J. Wren did a nice job coming up, but he's got to do a better job of wrapping and tackling. He would have had him for a loss on this. You'll see that. They've turned him back. He cuts to the outside. And Stan, you said earlier about that whole tackling technique, breaking down, staying square, chin over your toes.
That's the key.
Host of changes for the Cougars. Have not seen them throw the ball downfield at all. Of course, now they are going into the wind. 10 on the play clock. Boone, the quarterback, in the shotgun, 5 wideouts. Dallas rushes 4. Time for Boone. Gets it out to Rebar. And he's short of a first down by 3 yards.
Well, again, the receiver needs to run that route at first down distance.
So punting now will be Valley View. So Dallas makes the stop. Rosina back in. They had trouble on this in the first half. Big rush from Dallas. He gets it away, and it's Delgadio from his 38 to the outside near the 50. Delgadio still at his feet. The Bucknell commit still powering his way inside the 40-yard line of Valley View.
Dr. Gorringer has been practicing dentistry in Dallas for over 40 years and is a proud supporter of Dallas athletics. Wishing the Mountaineers good luck in the 2019-2020 season. New patients are always welcome. Stan, in all your years of coaching, when you have a kid commit, the pressure's off of them, and it looks like Delgadio is just having a great night. He's playing very relaxed, but very intense.
It is. It's a little bit of a pressure off the back of an athlete. He can just concentrate on what he's doing as a football player, or if he's a basketball or baseball player. I didn't have too many of those guys, though.
You'll see this effort that he's given. He's elusive, legs driving. Great second, third effort. There was a great hit right there that he spun out.
But there were three or four tacklers who were just arm tackling, and he's spinning out of the arm tackles. They've got to break down and use their shoulder pads.
Special teams have been a key here in the second half. Have set up good field position. Starbuck, the lefty out to Muser. Muser powers his way near a first down. He's going to be about a yard short.
That's one of their favorite plays. The play action with the fullback out into the flat. Muser's a good receiver.
And when you have a left-handed quarterback rolling to the left, it's a much easier throw for him to get that completion.
Should mention Michael Starbuck committed to play lacrosse at Limestone College this week as well.
Down in South Carolina. A very good program from what I understand.
It is a very good program for lacrosse. That's where the lefty will go next year, but right now he wants to win a district title in football. They give it to their main man, Kelly. Kelly shoots through it a first down. He's got a DKB transportation first down, and he's near the Allied Services red zone.
See where these linebackers.
Well, the second level, they got to him. Adam Hawanitz is the first man making contact.
Yeah, when
when
your free safety is the first guy making contact, it tells you something's happening up front. It's not good.
What's making this Dallas team special this year, amongst being 12-0 and they've taken their lumps, is when you have Michael Starbuck, who is a star lacrosse player, playing another sport. Sometimes kids won't do that, and that's what.
Starbuck trying to get it down to Delgadio on a fly. Zavkov with good.
Yeah, he collisioned Delgadio on that, and of course the Dallas faithful didn't like it. There's no such thing as pass interference in high school like that. You can hit the guy as long as the ball's not in the air.
So Coach Manello tries to sneak one in through the air. I'm sure he'll go back to the ground game now.
Are you sure?
Well, I was good
Are you
in the first
a betting
half.
man there, Bob?
I am tonight, evidently. From the 19. Valley View's already scored a touchdown in this quarter. Back to Kelly. This time he's hitting the backfield by a Cougar, and getting up is John Clark.
Again, he kept leverage that time. He kept Kelly inside and was able to get him around the ankles.
Loss of 1 yard, so 3rd and 11 on the way.
And this time you see that the defensive line of Valley View actually got in underneath of the Dallas offensive linemen and pushed them back.
Key play here with under 4 minutes in this third quarter.
And Coach Koharski has said repeatedly all night about the linebackers not being able to read. That time Valley View's defensive line did a nice job to allow them to do their jobs.
Fake to Kelly, going down the middle, and it's tipped away. Good defense by Consoretti. Bang! Oh, in the end zone, we have a shaken up Dallas player. Here's the look again. It's Moransky who's shaken up, and he was the guy that they tried to get the ball to.
That was a great breakup too.
Looks like he came down on his
by
ankle.
Jordan Consoretti on that. I mean, that was a great job.
He's Matt Moransky, the 5'10 senior, limping back to the formation, and he's going to come off the field. He came right down on that ankle, trying to jump for that ball.
Is that Moransky that was?
Yeah.
Yep.
Matt Moransky. And right now he's being checked out by their trainer, longtime trainer, Joe Junta.
Illegal man downfield, so there's a penalty on that. So that will back up Dallas to the 25, bring up 3rd and 15.
Well, that takes them out of field goal range right now.
Would you have declined that penalty and taken 4th down? I guess that's the question, Stan.
That's one of the things, again, but they do have the wind at their back, so that's probably maybe what Coach Hawana said, no, let's give them 3rd, make it go long. And unfortunately, one of their better receivers is not in the game for Dallas.
Starbuck going to the corner. Defense is there, and it is incomplete. Out of bounds to Delgadio, who pleads his case.
Well, again, in high school, we don't have the replays. And again, the official's right there along the sideline to make that call.
And there is an extra official tonight in the playoffs.
You see they go left side. He just goes down with that fade pattern, just right down the sideline.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
He got a foot in, but he may have been on the line, and the referee's right there. So evidently that was 4th down.
They lost. There was loss of down.
Down with the ineligible receiver, or man downfield.
So here's a different angle of that. We'll slow it down at the end. Delgadio goes up and comes down. Must have got that heel.
That heel, his right heel, must have been on the line.
I mean, that was a good ball, but look at the coverage. Adam Hawans did a great job from that free safety, making the second man over top.
Well, back out to Zavkov. That might be a lateral. It's still a live ball, and it's recovered by the Mountaineers. He threw it behind him.
It was a long lateral. The wind is blowing. You can see that the ball flirted a little bit. Didn't even get to Savkov.
You'll see this. He's right at the 26. Yep.
It kind of floated instead of whipping it, and the wind took it.
And again, the wind, they're throwing the ball in their face right now. Valley View has that wind, really strong wind in their face.
So the Mountaineers get the break. They have the ball at the Cougar 25. Kelly, right side. Tripped up. About a 2-yard gain. Getting up was Clark again.
It was interesting on that play. Xander Shaner, the center for Dallas, was all the way down on the free safety. Adam Hawan is for Valley View. So they're really, Stan, you said they're getting to second. Now they're getting into that third level, trying to spring Lenny Kelly.
Play action. Starbuck again down the middle. Caught by Farrell.
Farrell hurt them in the first game, right? Did he score
Yes,
2 touchdowns in the
yes.
first game?
And now the 6'3", 180-pound senior comes up with a big post pattern in here. Starbuck has his feet set, great ball, and that was a very good coverage by number 10, Consaretti. I mean, he was right on his hip.
20-yard gain, a DKB transportation first down, and we're inside the Allied Services red zone. First and goal, Mountaineers. Kelly behind the line, gets in it for a Matt Daly State Farm touchdown. Second of the night for Lenny Kelly, and Dallas answers the Valley View touchdown with a score of their own.
Two of the Dallas's scores have come on mistakes by Valley View. The punt that wasn't, and of course that ill-advised lateral that was not covered by the Cougars.
And more importantly, Dallas took 7 minutes off on that drive. It was at 8:45 when it started, and they finished it up.
Kick is to the right and off the goalpost. Is no good. But the 25-yard drive after the lateral puts points on the board for the Mountaineers, who extend their lead now 23-7.
Quinn's Market is family owned and operated for over 30 years. Quinn's has all your holiday favorites like store-made smoked kibasi, nut and poppy rolls, and don't forget the fresh-baked holiday cookies. At Quinn's Market, it's all about you.
He is the man this year, but if you ask Coach Manello, it's about the team, and it's about this team that started when they were freshmen, a lot of them. Talk weight room, talk about team, and talk about winning a district title. And they're close to it right now.
At this point, they are. And if you talk to Michael Starbuck, the quarterback, you talk to Lenny Kelly, you talk to Danny Muser, they're always going to put the emphasis on their offensive line, how they're one unit. It's not just the center, the guard. It's that complete front five getting it done for all of their.
So the Keystone College kickoff mishandled by Zavkov, and knocks out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And that's where Valley View will have it now.
And one of the things, Bob, that you mentioned about with Coach Mel, the other component is being a student athlete. He really emphasizes they're there for an education to make sure they do the best job they can in the classroom and out of the classroom.
And Stan, Valley View came out with an emphasis. They looked a little bit more physical early on.
Well, you can't make mistakes. Again, you can't, against the team is the quality and the caliber of Dallas, you can't put the ball on the turf. You can't have blocked punts. You just can't make those kind of mistakes. As John said, controlling the ball for 7 minutes, that puts Valley View really in a precarious position.
Good hole for Manchak. He breaks out into the open. Zach Manchak up to the 47-yard line, ridden down by Del Gaudio. But a big play for Valley View.
This Valley View team won't quit. They know they're in for a tough game. They knew that coming here, and they're going to play as hard as they possibly can. Manchak does a great job, gets them out of a deep hole.
31-yard run for the senior, Jan.
And I liked how Manchak, as he was coming through, he shifted the ball once there was no contact zone. He shifted it from his left hand to his right hand to make sure that there was great ball security.
Go back to 23, a couple of yard gains. Like to see Valley View throw a little bit downfield, Coach.
Well, you had Conceretti aligned against Wren out here. Now, Jack Farrell is playing the outside linebacker, and he's kind of playing and toying with whether he's going to rush or he's not going to rush. And he, of course, he's knocked down a couple of passes. But if Janasa gets his drop, he's got a passing lane there. And again, it's a one-on-one situation.
Last minute to play in the third quarter. Tight formation for Dallas and also for Valley View. Keeper by Boone. Can't get the blocks he needs. Gets about 2 yards. Up to the Mountaineer 48. That should be the last play of the third quarter. Time ticking down.
Valley View, double tight end, power eye. Just a little bit different look in terms of we were kidding about the single wing with, playing student body right, student body left.
Each team scored a touchdown in the third quarter, but the Mountaineers control their own destiny, looking for their first district title since 1999.
The helmet, what's with the 50?
Smile about for the Dallas cheerleaders. Their team on their way to a district title. They have a solid lead here headed to the fourth quarter. Bob Ide, Jan Cechek, Stan Kaharski in the booth. Paul Grippy is on the sidelines. And Valley View has the ball inside Mountaineer territory.
If they can get a quick score here, they've got a decision to make whether to go for 1 or 2. They're 3 scores behind if they don't go for 2.
5 wideouts. Boone with a lot of time. He's being chased though. Boone almost lost the ball. It's taken from behind by Taylor Molesta.
We talked about Taylor Molesta all season, and I heard some of the coaches saying from the Valley View side that number 75 for Dallas, he is their playmaker. He's always got a good motor. It's always going.
The winner of this game plays next week in the state playoffs. Imatep or Bonner Prendle. I believe they are playing tonight.
Valley View has got to hurry up or they're going to take a 5-yard penalty here, or
they call timeout. So their second timeout of the half is called. And the Mountaineer faithful, they can feel it. Their crowd feeling they may win the district title for the first time in 20 years.
Sebastianelli's Family Restaurant, serving the community for the last 60 years. Sebastianelli's is a proud sponsor of the Valley View Cougars on their quest to a 3rd straight district championship.
So a couple scores from the area. AA Bishop McDevitt leads Dunmore 28-13, 5:04 remaining in that game. Wyoming area has extended their lead over Scranton Prep 28-0. And Lackawanna Trail is trailing Williams Valley. So a 4th down call for Valley View. Trying a flea flicker. They just barely get it off and they can't convert. And Dallas does the job on defense. That didn't look good from the start.
No, not at all. I mean, you need 11 yards, and Dallas is playing the pass that whole time.
They tried some reverses, get the ball off, and it's just tough. This Dallas team been on a mission all year.
In preparation for this game, Bob, looking at Dallas, I thought that they were somewhat vulnerable to out routes, comebacks, combinations between two receivers where they run the corner off and bring the other receiver to the sideline. They haven't tried any of that.
Now they can just run out the clock. Lenny Kelly shoots through, 4 yards for Lenny.
Give them the rock, and they're just going to run that clock out. If they can get another 7-minute drive here, Dallas could possibly end up with that district championship that you're talking about.
And Lenny Kelly in the 2 games against Valley View has been impressive. I mean, 297 in this one, or in the last game, he's got to be near 200 in this game.
At this point, I would say minimum.
That's almost 500 yards on the ground for one player against one team.
He is a very unique kid. Talking to Coach Manello about him, they love him. They treat him as his own son, and
he just picked up a first down.
He's just so explosive hitting the hole. Watch here, downhill, just takes on 2 tacklers and goes forward. Again, he finishes his runs.
And that was number 55, Andrew Molitaris, on that lead block up inside. Just a quick fold block. The center steps down, and the guard just slips around him, or folds, to get up onto that linebacker.
Dallas in the powder blue with the white letters. This team has been determined all year long. A year ago was Valley View who took the title from Dallas. Tonight the Mountaineers controlling the line of scrimmage and really have controlled this game from the end of that first quarter.
And they're controlling the clock, which is a big enemy of Valley View right now, with about 9.5 minutes to go, and they don't have possession of the football.
Bob, you mentioned that Dallas has been determined. That started when this group, they were freshmen, and they knew they were going to take their lumps, and they believed, they trusted in the process that Coach Manello and his staff wants to do with this whole entire program, and they're getting the fruits of their success.
We've heard that saying before, trust the process, right? A lot of
coaches say that.
Coaches, yeah, a lot of things, a lot of teams, and Lenny Kelly does it again. Big yardage, just about 20 more yards for Lenny Kelly, down to the 14.
And it's just they're just their outside zone lead with Danny Muser taking on first threat. And I think it might be safe to say for the Dallas faithful, in Lenny we trust at this point.
Yes.
You got to give a lot of credit to Coach Manel and his staff. He came from Kings. He has these kids believing in what he's teaching them, and this is the culmination of it. The ability to win a district championship.
Sneaking Muser in, about a 2-yard gain.
His offensive coordinator is Nick Amatrano, who's been with him since Kings started football back in the late 90s when that was.
Well, so, I know when Rich came recruiting, when I was coaching up in Wallenpaupack, he was very clear about what he was looking for. And the fact that he started that program and elevated that program had to inspire these kids from Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They knew what his track record was, and of course, if they believed in him, they too could be successful.
Kelly gets the rock, and he's stood up quickly. Good job by the interior from Valley View. Number 70 making the stop, P.J. Schuster, senior, 295-pounder. Brings up 3rd and long inside the Allied Services red zone.
Unfortunately, there hasn't been as many plays defensively like what we just saw in terms of controlling that line of scrimmage.
Coach Hawanis has been there at Valley View, and he's had plenty of success, and he knows that his kids are going to be getting back at it. They're going to give everything they have for the next 7 minutes to try to change the tide of this game.
Starbuck to the end zone, just short of it. Farrell pulls it in and makes a beautiful catch. Jack Farrell, the 180-pound senior, stuck his hands out. See what I got.
High points to football, which you love all your receivers to do.
And that was a nice play action pass where they had everybody going right. Lenny Kelly, the left guard, left tackle, pulling to the right, and that was just nice misdirection. And again,
it's that
very
counter
good
tray pass. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
And the way the coverage of Valley View has had great coverage all night.
It's a Matt Daly State Farm touchdown for the Mountaineers, who are breaking this one open, his third of the night. 48-yard drive for Dallas.
Just an outside zone lead right there. They just get the first, second level, and Lenny Kelly just getting in there.
Fisher on for the PAT again. He missed his last one. And this one is up, and it is wide right.
Again, they're kicking into that strong headwind.
But 7:05 left for the Mountaineers of Dallas to possibly get that district title. We'll take a quick timeout. Back in the back mountain, the Dallas Mountaineers lead Valley View 29-7. As I said, the winner of this game, Jan, plays Imhotep or Bonner.
Prendergast, Catholic.
Yep, and what the score?
14-0, Imhotep, Charter.
Imhotep Charter, a team that knocked Valley View out last year.
Imhotep has a few losses this year. They've had some issues, so it could be the year that we might see somebody from Northeast PA advance.
It's a Keystone College kickoff. But remember, Imhotep plays a very tough schedule in the Philadelphia Catholic.
Oh, they
League.
really do. That PCL down there, as I've come to find out, they call them Flatlanders down there. Danielle Angeloni, associate broker with ERA One Source Realty, is your premier listing agent who will get your home sold. If you have a home in Lackawanna County and you'd like to sell it, get Danielle. Call Danielle anytime for a free, no obligation valuation on your home at 570-466-5205. That's 570-466-5205. And remember, want it to sell? Get Danielle.
So Boone throws it, but he was over the line of scrimmage. And a flag comes in. About a yard over the line of scrimmage. Couple flags, and they're going to discuss it. Quick time to give you another score. Lackawanna Trail leading Williams Valley 36-30 in the fourth quarter. So an illegal pass by Boone.
Right there, he just breaks contain. He's trying to make something happen.
That was close. The line of scrimmage was the 38. It was just about the 38 and a half.
Well, and that's where the officials know where they have to be stationed throughout this game. Is that a loss of down, Stan?
Second down, and they lose the yardage. Boone in the shotgun. Just four-man rush, quarterback draw. Boone to the outside. It's taken down by Moransky. Up at the 48-yard line, gain of 10.
You'll see they run that counter tray. Janessa Boone going east-west, and he's got that elusive speed, nice stiff arm to pick up all that yardage from the penalty.
Almost the same score as the last time these two met, but took a lot longer to get to this point. After the sneak, the clock will stop. They pick up a DKB transportation first down. And the Cougars keep the drive alive, 6.5 to play in the game.
Well, there's no urgency, though. They should be in a no-huddle situation. The play clock is down below 15 seconds.
Consaretti will take the snap. They get it off. Boone may have left early. They're just going to lay it up to Boone. And Boone can't run underneath there. Oh, a flag comes in, and it's going to go against Dallas. Thought the feet got tangled up. I'm surprised they threw the flag.
Let's see if in the replay if he extended his hand and pushed Boone.
I think that's what I'd seen that.
It's on the defense.
I'm wondering if he felt he was going to get beat, so.
Push from the back.
Yes. Yeah. And listen, that's a smart thing. It's a 15-yard penalty rather than giving up a touchdown.
And it's not like the NFL where it's a spot foul.
Right.
I wasn't sure if he had turned up at the line of scrimmage too soon either.
I think, well, Coach Manello's thought he was right there. I thought maybe he did too, but no flag.
Valley View's got to get out of the huddle. I mean, they're milling about. There's 6 minutes to go, and they're down 22 points.
If they were up by, you said 22.
Shouldn't be. It should be 15.
Fake the flip. Consaretti keeps it. Almost had a hold shot through. Up to the gain of 5. Some question on the marking of the penalty. Should have been a 15-yard penalty, right?
That's
should
correct.
be.
Marked off about 11. So, not sure about that. Because it was.
It might be that new math that they're doing now in schools these days. I'm not sure.
Dallas now trying to just control the line of scrimmage. Boone finds a nice gap. Gets up to a DKB transportation first down. Clock stops, 5:14 left in the game. Well, you got to get a score and you got to get the ball back.
You got to wonder what the objective is here. Obviously, there's a sense that they can't come back from this because if they didn't, they'd no huddle and get to the line of scrimmage. Here it is. Play clock is down to 17 seconds.
And they haven't even called the play yet.
You think they're trying to set up maybe a toss pass with Janessa Boone now at the tail?
Boone was going to take the snap. Manchak next to him. Rosina was in motion. Boone still on his feet near the 20. The clock will continue to roll.
That's a big moving target, number 55, Kyler Rosina.
He's had a great year.
230 pounds, and they moved him from tight end back to his guard position.
But he's played extremely well defensively, and of course as a guard, he's been a force for the Cougars.
Well, both of these teams have won state titles in their program history. In fact, they won it in back-to-back years. 1992 for Valley View and 1993 for Dallas. Manchak shoots through. DKB transportation first down at the 17. Of course, Valley View back then got into the playoffs via the Eastern Conference as we take a look at this run against
There's
Stan.
that counter trade, backside guard, tackle, pull.
Back then, you could get through the Eastern Conference. Then Dallas won the district, and they went on to win the state title. It's a little bit different path. We've come a long way since 1988 and those first state title games. And check again. Go to the outside. Does he have the speed? He doesn't. Ball was on the turf, and good to see Moransky back in.
Yes, it is.
Chasing that one down after he had an ankle problem. We have a flag, though, now.
Yeah, and what do you think of keeping your starters in at this point in the game?
You know what? I would say personally the game's at hand, but I know Coach Manello. And Coach Manello, he wants to make sure it says 0-0-0
on the offense.
Well, that's I can agree with that at times, but I don't want to get anybody hurt. You've got a big game next week.
Absolutely, and that's where I was going to go with that stance, saying I think personally this game is done. I think Dallas will be crowned the District 2 Quad A champs, and I would hope Lenny Kelly's not going to be getting any more touches at the ball.
Ball back at the 20, guys. Valley View had the penalty. 3:23 and counting now in the game. Boone a reverse, trying to get it to Zafkoff, and boy, a tough yard at that.
And it reminds me, we were, when I was on Coach Manello's staff at Kings, we were at FDU up in New Jersey, and there was 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and we were up by 2 scores. And I said to Coach, "Hey, can I let me get the headset?" And he kind of chewed my backside a little bit because, as it was explained to me, that was the first year I was on staff with them. The other assistant coaches said, "Too many bad things have happened to us over the years. That's why Coach is very superstitious that way." I mean, he was just doing what he does, and he apologized to me and said, "Understand, I wait till there's zeros on the board."
Boone back, trying to toss it to the sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Schuster, number 21. The senior pulls it in for a second interception of the year, and that may have just brought this game to a halt. Here we look at it again.
Nice job, good ups, caught the ball, 2 hands, great technique.
2 receivers close together like that.
Valley View only has 1 timeout remaining. Remember that. The ball is back. There was a flag down. A win against Dallas after the interception, as you see it again.
And that's a linebacker just dropping to that curl to flat area, trying to make the quarterback throw over, which is always a tough throw.
Paul Grippy, want to add something?
Well, Bob, it's been quite a ride for this Valley View senior class on the football team. If you go back to 2016, they started the season 0-3. Well, they managed to turn it around. Since then, they are 32-5, and they had a 27-game district winning streak along the way. And also that district's winning streak ended against this Dallas football team. Back in that season, 2016, George Hawanics was in his 10th season, and after starting 0-3, he was 50-50 for his career. Now he is 91 for 58 and has a winning percentage of 64%. They did win 2 district championships on that run. A little short tonight for this Valley View team, but you have to give the Valley View seniors credit. It's been a great 4-year ride for them.
It will end a little bit disappointing, but I think someday there'll be an AJ's or somewhere up in the valley, Coach, and they'll be saying, you know what? We won 2 district titles. We went to high school. No one else in Valley View history can say that in football.
They've had a great run, and the better team is ahead tonight.
Yep.
And there's no question about that. 2 games, 2 dominant games by Dallas Mountaineers. And you tip your hat to them and congratulate them. They've done a great job all season. It's not easy to go 12-0.
It's very difficult, especially when the caliber teams that both these schools have played throughout the season, not just this season, all the last 3-4 years.
You know, when you're undefeated, every game, regardless of who you're playing against, takes on a bigger character. And you know, the pressure on the kids starts to increase exponentially. It's really kind of remarkable.
Oh, guess who got the ball, Jan? Lenny Kelly.
The last 3 plays. Hey, listen, he's a district champ. He can do whatever he wants.
Absolutely. I've never questioned. I just, Stan, I think that's what you may have been alluding to. I don't know.
I think we saw a smile from Coach Manello.
And rightly so.
It's been hard earned.
It's hard earned for 4 years.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
The coaches are coming through. That's who they're saying congratulations to. This will be the last play of the game. And the monkeys off the back for the Dallas Mountaineers. Their first district title since 1999. They are the District 2 4A champions. (13-0). They're moving on into the state playoffs. But they'll get the trophy tonight.
There'll be a lot of celebration here in the back mountain, and Coach Manello, I think, might enjoy this one till midnight.
Yes.
To midnight. We'll give him till midnight to enjoy it.
Maybe until tomorrow. You just never know. But again, a dominant performance from the line. Gave the holes to Lenny Kelly. They did just enough offensively, otherwise running the ball, Lenny Kelly, to win the game.
He was sensational, and I'm sure he's going to say my offensive line created gigantic holes for me to run through. But he runs with such reckless abandon, and he finishes all of his runs. He's quite the young man. And again, you and I said this, Jan, he's not very big. I mean, you take a look at him. I don't know how tall he is. If he's 5'10", I'd be surprised. And, if he might weigh 170 pounds. Today's world, that's not a big running back.
To get over 2,000 yards, 33 touchdowns on the season.
The durability is remarkable. I mean, to carry the ball that many times during the course of the season,
yes,
it is remarkable.
Absolutely remarkable.
Besides playing linebacker.
Yeah,
yeah, there's that.
Yeah. We'll throw the defense in. And Dallas's defense, again, maintains their 7 points against average. The team they're going to play next week, if it is Amatep, they know they're going to see a different type of characters out there. I mean, in terms of skill positions, a lot faster than what we probably see up here in Northeast PA.
You wonder whether Emmett-Top had a good recruiting year. I think their record is 7-4.
Yeah.
As you said,
yes,
they play a different schedule, a difficult schedule.
So we'll await the award for the district championship trophy. Paul Grippy will try to get our players of the game, Lenny Kelly and Michael Starbuck. And we'll see what happens. So how about a couple of scores? Dunmore's knocked out of the playoffs. They lost to Bishop McDevitt tonight, 28-13. Check on a couple other ones, John and I, while we...
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure tonight. And it's been a great year of high school football. I hope I'm not done yet.
What a year for that team. As Coach Manello will give them one last talk.
Imhotep Charter, 35. They beat Bonner Prendergast, 35-8. So it looks like Dallas, Imhotep Charter at a site to be determined.
Well, last couple years they played at Northern Lehigh, so Dallas fans look for that. Wyoming area shut out Scranton Prep tonight, 27-0. It looks like they will take on Montoursville next week.
And the Raiders from Tamaqua, 35-21 over Pope John Paul II.
Lackawanna Trail, Coach, anything from them?
I'm scrolling through. Jersey Shore is 26-14 over Bishop Shanahan. Lackawanna Trail, 36-30, but it hasn't been updated yet. Let's see.
So a couple of our teams remain in contention.
And the trail game was back and forth with Williams Valley. I mean, they're playing some great football there. Steve Jervis has those Trail Lions really going.
Well, now we're going to go back for Dallas. And here come the student body out onto the field to celebrate with their classmates. The District 2 4A championship. The band is playing the alma mater. Paul Grippy still trying to catch up with some players.
What a classy group, the Valley View guys coming out there to congratulate Dallas. Janessa Boone and Michael Starbuck were shaking hands earlier. It's really nice to see that kind of camaraderie here in Northeast PA.
And this has developed into quite a little bit of a rivalry as
well.
Yes,
it
Yeah, we said that, I think, during the vlog.
Yeah.
It has become a rivalry. And that's good to see. That's great sportsmanship. That's what high school football is supposed to be about. But last year when Valley View won that game, Coach Manella said, hey, my kids are going to get back into the weight room. They're going to prepare themselves, and we're going to be better. And, you know, Valley View's got to take that same lesson. They're going to have to prepare for next year and see where they're going to take them.
Stan, you were saying about the weight room, and I think that's been very key to, as you said, Lenny Kelly playing offense, defense, and being the workhorse going all the way to the end of the game tonight, especially when they know they have the state playoffs now.
It's, I think we said this last week, it's bittersweet for seniors when they lose their last game. You know, they know a lot of them will never put on a football uniform for the rest of their lives. Those that are fortunate enough to go on to college, they can look forward to that. But if they're finished as a high school player, it's
emotional.
It is. It's very emotional, especially when you put your heart into it.
Well, there is the district plaque, which will go into the school, and for the first time since 1999, they will hang up a district championship plaque on the wall here at the high school. And finally, Lenny Kelly with our own Paul Gripping.
Okay, Bob, I have the Allied Services Player of the Game first, Lenny Kelly. What does this district championship mean to you and your team?
This is huge. Everything paid off. We finally got it done. Last year didn't go as planned. We had that in the back of our minds the whole entire offseason, and now here we are.
How the running game work for you tonight?
The line up front was amazing. Everybody's blocking was amazing. Couldn't have asked for a better line.
I want to take you back to your freshman year. You guys had 2 wins. What do you remember about that and climbing the mountain to this point?
That 2-9 season was such a building start for us. Nobody wanted to go through that again, and that's what we always had in the back of our heads, and we were always working for what we got tonight.
All right, thanks a lot. Congratulations on being a district champion. That's Lenny Kelly, Allied Services Player of the Game, Bob.
Thank you, Paul. And as you expected, Lenny Kelly giving props to his
Take it easy.
offensive line. See if Paul can grab Michael Starbuck, or we're just going to call it a night. We'll call it a night, and we'll say congratulations to the Dallas Mountaineers. They are the District 2 4A championship. So tomorrow, Jan and I have another game to do. We'll have the Mayor's Cup live at noon right here on MyTV. So we're going to get a good night's sleep, and our crew is going to be back, and they're going to be all well rested.
And they're going to be warmed up, ready to go.
Warmed up and ready to go. But for Stan Kaharski, for Jan Sechak, for Paul Griffey, this is Bob Ide saying congratulations to the Dallas Mountaineers.
Allied Services Friday Night Rivals on MyTV WQMY.